Check out the new threads, sweetheart. Lucas swaggered into our living room, tossing his aviators onto the side table with a smug grin. His tailored blazer hugged his frame, and his suitcase, dripping with designer logos, screamed extravagance. First class to London, penthouse suites, this is the life I was born for, Emma. I stood by the kitchen counter, coffee mug in hand, and burst out laughing, sharp and unrestrained. His smirk wavered. What's so funny? He snapped. Oh, Lucas, I said, shaking my head. You've got no clue what you've just stepped into. My name's Emma Larson. I'm 36. And I'm a cybersecurity expert who spent 9 years married to a man whose charm was a mask for deceit. Lucas was the dreamer, the silver-tongued schemer who painted grand futures while I kept us afloat. I ignored the warning signs, shady finances, vague excuses because I believed in our partnership. But last week at 3 a.m. he made a mistake that changed everything. He thought he'd played me, but he didn't know the card he stole was a trap, one that would unravel his lies and set me free. This is a story of betrayal, resilience, and reclaiming my power. Stick with me, because if you've ever trusted someone who broke your heart, you'll feel every moment of this fight, and the ending will show you what it means to rise from the ashes. I was always the steady one. While Lucas chased pipe dreams, crypto ventures, consulting gigs that fizzled, I built a career teaching companies how to spot cyber fraud. We met in our late 20s, his charisma pulling me in like a tide. He'd talk of globe-trotting, wealth, a life of ease, and I'd nod, hooked on the vision of us. But the cracks showed early: hidden bank accounts, evasive answers about his earnings, my savings shrinking without explanation. I told myself it was love, that marriage meant giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was wrong. That night I was asleep when Lucas crept downstairs. He waited until he thought I was out cold, then cracked open my laptop. My job had drilled vigilance into me-locked devices, monitored accounts, but I never thought I'd need it at home. Lucas found a credit card number, snapped photos with his phone, and slunk back to bed, thinking he'd pulled it off. The next morning, my phone lit up with alerts as I sipped coffee. I opened my banking app. $50,000 in charges, designer clothes, a gold watch, first-class tickets to London. My stomach dropped, then steadied. Lucas had done this. And he'd picked the wrong card. It wasn't my personal account. It was a dummy card, part of a fraud detection program I ran at work. Every transaction pinged law enforcement instantly, designed to catch crooks in the act. Lucas, in his arrogance, had turned himself into my program's perfect case study. I didn't panic or cry. I smiled, a quiet thrill running through me. He'd handed me the rope to hang him with. I called my lawyer, Sophie, that morning. "You're gonna love this," I said, spilling the details. She laughed so hard she nearly choked.
He used a fraud training card? Emma, this is priceless.
The feds are probably already tracking him. They are, I said, my voice calm but edged with satisfaction. He's out there spending. Thinking he's untouchable, Sophie snorted. Have they called you yet? Not yet, but it's coming. I want to be ready. Oh, we'll be ready, she said. Let him keep going. Every charge tightens the noose. For a week, I stayed quiet, watching Lucas's spree through fraud alerts. 2 days in, he left a note. Need some space, back soon. I knew what it meant: London, Paris, luxury hotels, all on my dime. Each alert $3,000 at a tailor, $7,000 on a private club membership, felt like a point in my favor. 5 days in, Agent Daniels, a federal investigator, called. Miss Larson, we've flagged major fraud on your account. Any idea who's behind?
Yes, I said, unflinching. My husband, Lucas. A pause.
Your husband? I explained the dummy card, my program, his theft. Daniels chuckled. That's a new one. We'll need a statement, but he's already cooked. Every move's traced. When Lucas strutted back in, dripping in his stolen spoils, I was ready. He tossed his bag down, grinning. Thanks for the upgrade, sweetheart. You really stepped up. His blazer, his polished shoes, that smug watch, they screamed money he didn't have. I laughed, unable to hold it in. What's so funny? He demanded, eyes narrowing. Oh, Lucas, I said, leaning against the counter. You'll see, he shrugged, peeling off his blazer. Seriously, Emma, you should have told me about that card ages ago. We could have lived it up together. His audacity was almost comical. And how do you think this would end? I asked, arms crossed.
He smirked, kicking off his shoes.
You're always so tight with money. I figured you'd see me enjoying myself and loosen up. I swallowed another laugh, knowing every word was damning him. So the watch, the flights, the hotels, you thought I'd just cover it? Not thought, he said, pointing at himself. Knew. You always come through. As he headed for the shower, humming some smug tune, I texted Sophie, he's back. Let's move. Her reply was instant. Got it. Daniels is on standby. Over the week, Sophie and Agent Daniels had built a watertight case. Lucas's charges timestamped, tracked, documented, painted a picture of reckless greed. I'd recorded his gloating from the moment he walked in, my phone tucked in my pocket. Daniels had suggested letting Lucas dig deeper. The more he brags, the better, he'd said. Now, as Lucas's off-key singing echoed from the bathroom, I felt a strange peace. For years, I'd carried his weight, excused his lies, clung to his promises. Today, he'd pay for betting against me. Post-shower. Lucas sprawled on the couch, towel loose, pulling a gleaming watch from his bag. You should have seen London, he boasted, eyes alight. The clubs, the shops like a dream. Sounds incredible, I said, leaning in the doorway, recording every word. Tell me more. He dove into a vivid recap: private dinners, rooftop bars, a $12,000 suit. And the best part? He said, flashing the watch. No one batted an eye, not even you. I smiled, letting him bury himself. The next morning, Sophie and I met. Over coffee. He's done, she said, scrolling through our evidence. Alerts, charges, my recording. Daniels is coordinating with police. Arrest is imminent. I nodded, the weight settling in. What's next? Fraud, identity theft, unauthorized use, she said. With $50,000 at stake, he's facing years if convicted. Best case, he pleads out, pays restitution, gets probation. Worst case, prison. I pictured Lucas's grin, his casual betrayal. Sympathy flickered, then died. He chose this, I said. Sophie nodded. And you outplayed him. That evening, Lucas lounged on the couch, scrolling his phone, oblivious. A knock at the door broke the silence. My heart raced, not with fear but anticipation. I opened it to Agent Daniels and two officers. Good evening, Miss Larson, Daniels said, voice steady. Is Lucas home? Right there, I said. Stepping aside, Lucas sat up, confused. What's going on? Daniels approached, calm but firm. Lucas Larson, you're under investigation for credit card fraud and unauthorized use of financial accounts. Come with us for questioning. His face went white. This is a mistake. He stammered, looking to me. Emma, tell them. I tilted my head. You've been busy, Lucas. Maybe explain it yourself. As officers read his rights, he protested. Emma, you're my wife. You can't do this. Funny, I said, voice cold. I thought husbands didn't steal from their wives. Guess we're both learning, he glared, desperate. You set me up. I smiled. No, Lucas, you did that yourself. The door clicked shut as they led him away, leaving silence. I stood in the living room, heart pounding with triumph, not pain. Sophie called an hour later. He's with Daniels, she said. Trying to say you gave him permission, but the evidence crushes him. Of course he's lying, I said. Rolling my eyes, he'll never own it. Doesn't matter, she said. You're recording the alerts. It's over. The next day, Daniels updated me. Lucas admitted to using the card but claims he didn't know it was a dummy. He's blaming you for misleading him. I laughed. Typical. What's next? We're charging him with fraud and unauthorized use, Daniels said. Buyer protection flagged his purchases, so you're not liable. He's facing serious consequences. Relief flooded me. Thank you, I said. You made this easy. Daniels replied. Most don't catch their spouse this neatly. Lucas's world crumbled fast. Friends cut ties. His rumored side piece bailed. His luxury haul was seized. His accounts frozen. He called once, voice hollow. Emma, I screwed up. I didn't mean it. Didn't mean to steal $50,000. I said, ice in my tone. Or didn't mean to get caught. He mumbled. I thought you loved me. I loved who I thought you were, I said. Not this. I hung up, done. A week later, Sophie confirmed Lucas took a plea deal. Restitution. Community service, no jail, but his credit was toast. Perfect, I said. He chased luxury, now he's got nothing. Sophie laughed. You're a force, Emma. I had to be, I said. He forced my hand. The divorce papers arrived days later, a slim envelope holding my freedom. I signed them at the dining table, sunlight filtering through new blinds I'd picked soft blue, my favorite. Lucas's absence wasn't a loss. It was a gift. I redecorated, painting walls a warm cream, hanging art that spoke to my soul. His things gone, donated, or trash left no trace. My friend Nora came over, bringing wine and pizza. To new beginnings, she toasted, and to kicking that leech to the curb. I laughed, clinking glasses. To knowing my worth. Over weeks I rebuilt. I took a solo trip to the mountains, hiking trails alone, finding peace I'd forgotten. Work soared. I pitched a new fraud detection seminar based on Lucas's fiasco, and my team ate it up. You turned betrayal into a career win, my boss said. I grinned. It's my specialty. Lucas reached out a few times, emails, pathetic letter claiming he'd changed. I deleted them unread. Closure didn't come from him. It came from me. I heard he'd moved in with his parents, scraping by on temp jobs, his charm useless now. I didn't gloat or grieve. He was a chapter closed. One morning, I stood on my balcony, coffee in hand, city buzzing below. The apartment, once a war zone, was my haven, my colors, my choices, my life. Lucas's betrayal, his smug thanks for the upgrade, had meant to break me. Instead, it freed me. I'd trusted too long, silenced my instincts too often. No more. That moment he thought he'd won, flaunting his stolen life, was his downfall and my awakening. I raised my mug to the skyline. Here's to me, I whispered, and to never settling again. The future was mine, and I was ready for it.